Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Tony here with Italian Dual Citizenship Assistance. You know, the volume of legal and constitutional challenges to Italy's new restrictive citizenship laws keeps growing. In today's video, we're going to look at two new important cases that add to those challenges and could have a big impact for people currently blocked from Italian citizenship by descent. Now, over the past few months, we've seen multiple challenges to Italy's new citizenship law, Law 74 of 2025, and to how it's being applied, especially the retroactive application of this law and the way it strips people of the Italian citizenship that they had from birth under Italian law at the time that they were born and the principles of Jure Sanguinis. And we're also seeing that the minor issue, which has been blocking thousands of applicants, is expected to be reviewed by the highest court in Italy. And several courts have already questioned whether the government went too far in restricting citizenship by descent with these new laws. Now, two new cases have been added to this mix, and they could significantly shape what happens next. And one of these cases is from the court in Mantua, and it looks directly at whether the treatment of minor children born abroad under the new law is constitutional. The other case before TAR Lazio, now that's the regional administrative court in Rome, which reviews how ministries and public offices apply the law, challenges parts of the ministry's May 28 circular, arguing that it added extra restrictions and classifications that were never written into the law itself. Now, together, these cases add to the growing legal and constitutional pressure on the new law and its application, and in this case, especially how it impacts recognition of Italian citizenship for families and minor children. And just a quick reminder, I do offer affordable consultations if you need help understanding how all of these changes and challenges to the Italian citizenship laws may affect your recognition. You can book a consultation with me at italiandual.com, and a link is in the description. Now, the first case we'll look at comes from the Court of Mantua, where a judge questioned whether the new rules for minor children born abroad actually respect the constitutional right to family unity. It began when a comune refused to register the birth certificate of a child born in Brazil. The child's mother had already been recognized as an Italian citizen by a court, but the comune denied the child's registration under the new rules, saying that the parent needed to file a declaration of will within a set period of time. Now, the judge disagreed and formally referred the issue to Italy's constitutional court. Now, according to the referral, the new law and the subsequent circulars issued by the ministry may conflict with a number of aspects of the Italian constitution, such as Article 22, no deprivation of citizenship for political reasons, refusing recognition to a child who would have been Italian from birth effectively removes a status that previously existed. And the judge believes that this violates Article 22. Article 3 on equality was also cited. Two people born before March 28, 2025 could be treated differently purely based on timing. And also Articles 72 and 77, how laws are made, questioning whether such a major change should have been made via an emergency decree law rather than a full parliamentary process. Now, the Constitutional Court has accepted the question, and no hearing date is set yet. Sometime in early 2026 is a reasonable expectation. Now, if the court agrees with the challenge, parts of Law 74, as well as the ministry circulars, especially those affecting minor children, may need to be rewritten or may be struck down completely. The second case we're looking at is before the TAR Lazio. This is the regional administrative court in Rome that reviews whether government ministries are applying the law correctly. This case focuses on the Ministry of the Interior's circular from May 28, 2025, which tells consulates and comuni how to properly interpret and apply the new law. The appeal argues that the circular added administrative interpretations that don't appear directly in the statute of the law, including this label, Italian by benefit of law, for minors who acquire citizenship via a parent's declaration rather than automatically at birth. Now, this is a very controversial aspect of the new law. Critics point out that this benefit of law label isn't written into the law, and it risks creating a whole new category of citizenship from an administrative document written outside of the law itself. Now, this case and the public hearing are set very, very soon for November 12th, 2025. Possible outcomes of this case could include dismissal or inadmissibility if the real issue is with the law itself and not with the circular, a partial annulment if parts of the circular go beyond the statute, or referral to the Constitutional Court if the TAR sees serious constitutional issues underlying. Next up, we'll look at minor children and the declaration of will process. Now, under the new law and the ministry's circulars, children born abroad to Italian citizens no longer become citizens automatically through birth registration alone, which is how it's always worked in the past. Instead, they can acquire citizenship only if the parent files a declaration of will at the consulate if living abroad or at the comune if living in Italy. Now, this applies regardless of when the parent was recognized as Italian. So based on this, only families who are already in process with a case filed before the March 28th deadline or a consular or comune appointment confirmed before that date can proceed under the old practice where the birth is simply registered at the comune and the child becomes automatically recognized as an Italian citizen. For everyone else, the declaration of will route is the only path forward for minors, with a transitional deadline of May 31st, 2026 for children born before the March 28th deadline. So let's take a look at why these cases matter. Well, these two proceedings, the Mantua constitutional referral and the TAR Lazio administrative appeal, could have far-reaching effects. They may clarify whether some families were unfairly excluded, how the minor child declaration process should work, and how closely the consulates and comuni must follow the circular as written. Now, nothing has changed yet. Law 74 and both ministry circulars are still in effect until a court rules otherwise. The good news here is that we're seeing more and more Italian courts testing whether the emergency decree, the subsequently converted law, and the follow-up circulars respected constitutional limits, balancing administrative efficiency against the right to citizenship by descent under Jure Sanguinis. Now, if the Constitutional Court ultimately rules that citizenship by descent is a birthright that cannot be restricted retroactively, some recognition routes closed under the new law could reopen. And if the TAR Lazio narrows the circular, the ministry may need to adjust guidance, especially when it comes to minor children. So to recap, the Court of Mantua has referred constitutional questions to the Constitutional Court, which has accepted, and a hearing is expected sometime in early 2026. The TAR Lazio will hold its hearing on November 12th of 2025 to review whether the ministry's circular added classifications or rules beyond what Parliament approved when it converted the decree law into Law 74. As always, I'll keep tracking these cases and I'll post updates here as soon as decisions come out. Now, if this video was helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with anyone navigating the Italian citizenship process. And be sure to click the bell so you get new updates as soon as they come out. If you want help on your specific Italian citizenship situation, you can book an affordable one-on-one consultation with me. I'll help you get clear on your eligibility, your options, and your best path forward. And even if you're already working with an agency or a firm and you aren't getting answers to your questions, I'm here to help. You can book a consultation with me at italiandual.com. There's a link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.